What is up, guys? Welcome back to another unusual money-making method video. Haven't done one of these in a couple months, mainly because I've been so busy with my hardcore Iron Man, with RuneFest, with them mansions and everything. Just haven't really had time to look through all the methods that you guys send me on Twitter, on YouTube messages, comments, Snapchat, and you guys send me methods everywhere, so I have to go through all them. But I really appreciate you guys all sending the methods. But I really desperately need these today because my cash stack is absolutely horrible on the main game. If you take away the stews in my bank, I somehow have 25 mil in random items in my bank. But like usable 25 mil is pretty much nothing. I went for a twisted bow at the duel arena. It did not work out at all. So this is a pretty perfect time to find these unusual money making methods. If you guys have a good method that you think is going to be worth putting into one of these videos, then make sure to send it to me through YouTube, through Twitter DM, or wherever, Instagram, Snapchat, add me on all that stuff and send it to me. And if I think it's good enough, I will add it into a future unusual money making method video. Anyways, guys, let's get into the methods. I have one really good one that I think is actually new meta for rebuilding that you guys may find interesting, and a couple other really interesting ones as well. Thank you guys again for sending them if you guys did, and let's hop right into it. The first method comes us today from Sam Vaughn, who sent me a method via YouTube message, and his unusual moneymaker is filling pots with ale yeast from Blanda beer in Keldegrim. That is a mouthful right there. You guys probably have barely even heard of Blanda beer if you don't really know much about brewing in Keldegrim. Pretty much what he does is he offers to sort of guide you on how to brew things on old school. Brewing is a pretty unpopular thing, I'd say, but it has the potential to make you a lot of profit. And the item that he sells you that can make you profit in this case instantly, as you guys know, brewing can sometimes take a long time for you to make profit, but this quick money maker that he provides you is providing you with ale yeast. Now, ale yeast is used in the brewing process, and he can provide you with ale yeast for 25 GP each. All you need to do is get a full inventory of pots, which you can get for extremely cheap. They're like 6 GP on the GE, or you just go to general store and get them for like 1 or 2 GP. They're very, very cheap. The method involves asking him for any spare ale yeast that he has. Now, when you're talking to him, select the fourth option down. Do you have any spare ale yeast? He will say, yes, I do, and he'll offer you a price, and he offers them for 25 GP each. Then select the first one, which is that's a good deal. Please fill my pot with ale yeast for 25 GP, and I'll fill it for you. And then it'll go back to the 4 options that he offers. Select the fourth one again and continue the process. It's really nice because sometimes when you buy something for an NPC, it actually stops the conversation completely after you finish buying it. But in this case, when you buy the yeast from him, it brings you back to the options page, and you can just click the fourth option again, which is really, really nice. So the time it took me to fill up this entire inventory of pots full of ale yeast was very, very fast. Took about 2.5 minutes of just talking and filling it, which is pretty good when you consider how long it takes sometimes to buy things from other NPCs, like the stew guy in Yanil, which is very annoying. Now, there's a couple things you can do now. You can teleport out. What I recommend doing is teleporting out to the Grand Exchange, banking there, and then taking the cart back to Keldegrim, running up to the house, and talking to Ogem. If you don't want to leave Keldegrim, you can always run to the western side of Keldegrim, go to the bank there, deposit everything, get your new pots out, and run back. Now, the Grand Exchange price guide shows the price going for about 1,229 GP each, and if you do leave an offer and overnight, you can most likely sell it for this. These do actually sell, surprisingly. You may not have ever heard of the item, but these do actually sell. I decided to leave my offer in a little bit lower just to see if they could sell in within like 5 to 10 minutes, which they actually did. I decided to put them in for 900 GP, all 27 of them, and within 5 minutes they ended up buying for 900 each, so I made myself a cool 28k profit. Obviously not something necessarily worth doing unless you're really interested in it, mainly because there's a lot better methods out there, but this is an unusual way to make profit. It's very interesting and unique, and that's the point of the series. It's not to find the best money makers in the game, it's to find the most unusual ones in the game. I do like this one a lot though, because it brings me to an area that I don't usually go to. In Keldegrim, I found out about an NPC that I haven't heard of in a while, or maybe have never even heard of before, Blanda beer, and then I'm finding out about an item that I may have used in the past in a quest or something, but I don't use ever nowadays, and I'm using it to make money, which is really cool. So thank you again, Sean, for sending me that method. If you guys are interested, try it out for yourself or get into the brewing process to make even more money. I can always make another video on that in the future, but let's get into the next one. The next method comes to us from Cara De Quito via YouTube message, and his method involves collecting black scimitars in Ardi. Now, I had no idea that there was even a scimitar spawn in Ardi, mainly because I didn't ever really look for one, but still, it's pretty interesting to see one even there. Now, this scimitar spawn is found near King Lathis in East Ardi Castle. If you guys know anything about the Regicide, Biohazard, Plague City, Underground Pass questline, you guys probably know a bit about King Lathis. He's on the second floor in Artie Castle, or first floor for all you UK ground floor people, crazy people stuff. On the second floor, on the southern part, is a black scimitar spawn. Now, to get through the door, to get to the scimitar spawn, you guys need yourself a lockpick, which goes for like 200 GP on the Grand Exchange. Very, very cheap. And once you get into that door, all you have to do is click on the scimitar, and it's yours. Nothing ever pops up, or there's no trap or anything. You just pick up the scimitar, and it's yours. And the method involves just world hopping now. So keep world hopping to collect these black scimitars. Now, I was a bit pessimistic at first when doing this method, mainly because I didn't think that many black items sold for that much. And even if they did sell for a lot, I didn't think they would sell consistently, mainly because they're pretty cheap. Nobody really uses them. You can only get them from clue scrolls and spawns, I believe, so they weren't that big of a deal. But this one surprised me, mainly because they still go for about 2,200 GP each, and they do actually sell on the Grand Exchange. It's a pretty easy method if you think about it. All you have to do is just keep picking up the black scimitar and then hopping worlds, and that's pretty much it. They go for about 2,200 GP each on the Grand Exchange. You're making like 2.2k profit every time you hop worlds, which is pretty damn good. The only annoying thing is that the world hopping feature can sometimes mess up your profit here, mainly because if you guys know, if you hop worlds too much, it kicks you out of the game, and then there's this grace period where you have to wait until you can continually hop worlds. So you can get about 15 worlds and 15 to 20 worlds of continuous hopping before you actually get kicked out of the game, and then you have to wait to actually pick up scimitars again. So if you want to be efficient with this, I guess you can get 2 accounts here. So hop on one account when that gets the whole login ban thing, then get on the other account and keep hopping and picking them up, which actually isn't too bad of an idea when you guys see how much profit you can make off these scimitars. So I just collected 1 inventory to see if they would actually sell, because as I mentioned earlier, I thought it would be, they wouldn't really sell for anything or for that much. And 1 inventory actually sold for 57k on the Grand Exchange, like instantly, like 5% under. And usually for an unusual money making method, that usually doesn't happen. So to make 57k in like 5 to 10 minutes of just picking up these scimitars was really, really cool. After I saw that these were actually selling on the Grand Exchange, I decided to go back to Artie and camp the scimitars for a bit longer. And about half an hour, I managed to pick up 124 of them. And once again, they instantly sold on the Grand Exchange, which still surprises me right now. I can't believe it. And I made 262k profit off this in about 30 minutes, which is nuts. So, I mean, for a method where you're just picking up scimitars to make about 500k an hour is really, really good. And again, this is another potential rebuild method for people who at least have the thieving level to get into there. You need 61 thieving, as I mentioned earlier, to even try to get these scimitars. So for people who actually have 61 thieving, which is very easy to get, this could be a potential rebuild method to make yourself some starter cash, which is really cool. I like this method a lot. Thank you for sending it. If you guys want to test it out, go ahead and test it out. As usual with these methods, sometimes prices do crash a tiny bit after I put out the video, but they do stabilize once again in about a week or two or something, so don't freak out. Today's third method comes to us from me, from Stefan. Thank you so much for this third method, Stefan. I'm so blessed that you sent it to me. Thank you so much. This method involves going to the charter ship people and buying yourself raw rabbits from them. And why do raw rabbits make you so much money? Because they are involved in wild pies. You need a raw rabbit to make yourself a wild pie, and wild pies are very popular for boosting your Slayer level to go for those whips. A lot of people use them when they're boosting for whips or any other, like for dragon boots or whatever, because it's possible with that. Not for some other items, but it's really popular mainly just from people who are going for whips at a lower Slayer level. The ingredients for a wild pie are a raw chompy, which that by itself goes for about 2.2k on the GE, and a raw chompy, that's a whole nother unusual moneymaker that I actually already made a video on in the past. It involves a raw rabbit, raw bear meat, and then a pie shell. Now the raw rabbits are very annoying to get, mainly because the only place to get them, I believe, is in the elf lands, in Isafdar, whatever you want to call it. You have to kill them there and get yourself a raw rabbit. But luckily, these charter ship people actually sell 20. They have a stock of 20 in their shop, and you can buy them for about 50 GP each, which is very cheap. And when you buy out the whole stock, it only goes up by like 5 GP, I think, the entire time. With a cash stack of 100k, I made my way over to the Port Khazard charter ship people, because there's a bank really close to there, and I bought out the stock for about 15 minutes. Really easy to do this. You just buy out the stock, go to the bank, and hop worlds and continue the process. Now, the unique thing about this method is that I believe you can technically do this as a level 3. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can make your way over to Port Khazard as a level 3 and then use the bank and use the charter ship people, so just trade them for all the items, and then buy the raw rabbits. If you get yourself 10k from the stronghold and then instantly make your way Over here, you can even charter over here if you technically wanted from Port Sarim. Although I believe it will cut into your cost a little bit as a level 3, and then keep buying these raw rabbits. And since they only go for 50 GP each, and since they're so cheap, it's a really good way to get your cash stack up as a low level. It took me about 10 to 15 minutes, I believe, to collect 324 of these raw rabbits from the charter ships. Made my way over to the Grand Exchange, and since they all sell pretty consistently because of the wild pies, I made 178k off those 324 raw rabbits. It cost me about 16.5k to actually buy these raw rabbits, so if we take that away from the 178k profit, we can say that we made about 150k in those 10 to 15 minutes. As a level 3, to make that much money in that little time, that is a beast way to get a starter cash stack. That is going to conclude today's unusual money making method video. Thank you guys again for sending those in. A couple really good ones. I really like the scimitar and the raw rabbit one. That's exciting stuff for low levels, I think, or if you're trying to rebuild. I like those methods a lot. So again, if you guys have a method that you want to send me and you want to see in a video, please send it to me. Preferably through a YouTube message or a Twitter DM. Those are the ones I check the most. But before I end today's video, I want to show you guys something that I don't recommend you go to send me methods, and that is the old school RuneScape wiki money making guide page, because it is awful for methods. If you would just go down here, if we scroll down to the money making methods that they have, when we go to the profit per hour section, they have enchanting Dragonstone amulets as 3.4 mil an hour. They have growing maple magic saplings, 2+ million GP per hour. They have all these, especially the growing saplings, they have all at like 1 million plus GP per hour. And with current prices, it does not work, trust me. You need like 300 mil to even think about making that much money per hour. And to even have that much money and do this method to make money, growing saplings is not recommended at all. So please don't go to this page and send me the methods. I mean, some things on there, I guess, are sort of right, like the Killing Cerberus, the Chambers of Zarek. Over time, they do add up to that much money. Zalra's up there. But the other random ones they have, like, I don't know, Gnome Restaurant, 1.3 mil an hour, it just seems a bit, it doesn't seem right, okay? We should petition to get this page taken. No, I'm just kidding, we're not going to petition. But anyways, guys, that's going to finish off today's video. Thank you guys all for watching so much, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next video. Wow, the voice crack, always.
Wow.